This video presentation is brought to you by the Pro Mathematics Academy.
Welcome to part 2 of our video series on solutions for January 2019 Csec mathematics exam, and we begin by looking at question number 2, which asks us to make x the subject of the formula y equals x divided by 5 plus 3p. Right? So the first thing you want to note is that to make x the subject, we have to get rid of 3p and 5, right? So to get rid of 3p, we want to subtract 3p from both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So this gives us y minus 3p equals x divided by 5 plus 3p minus 3p. And we see where 3p minus 3p becomes 0. So we're now left with y minus 3p equals x divided by 5. Then we want to multiply through by 5, and that will allow us to get rid of the 5 from the right-hand side. So this means 5 multiplied by y minus 3p in bracket equals 5 times x over 5 in bracket, and our final answer works out to be 5 times y minus 3p equals x. So now x is a subject. That is our answer. Moving on to part 2, which asks us to solve the following equation by factorizing. So we want to look at this expression on the left-hand side and ask ourselves what is common. And we recognize that the only term common here is x. So we can factor out x. This then gives us x multiplied by 2x minus 9 is equal to 0. This means that x is equal to 0, or 2x minus 9 is equal to 0 by our fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Our next line reads x equals 0, or 2x is equal to 9. And so we see that we're solving, which gives us x equals 9 divided by 2. Part B of this question says, a farmer wishes to enclose a rectangular plot with a wire fence. The width of the plot is 3 meters less than the length, L. Given that the area enclosed by the fence is 378 square meters, show that L squared minus 3L minus 378 equals 0. So here we want to first note that the length is L. The width is given by L minus 3, which means that if I construct a rectangle, I see I have L minus 3 as my width and L as my length. The area of the rectangle is length times width. So this means L times L minus 3 is equal to 378. I distribute L over L minus 3, which gives me L squared minus 3L equals 378. Bringing everything over to the left-hand side implies that L squared minus 3L minus 378 is equal to 0. And voila, that which we want to prove is proven. Moving right along. So part C says the force F applied to an object is directly proportional to the extension E produced by the object, right? And then the first part asks us to represent this information in the form of an equation. So the first thing we want to note here is that whenever we see that something is directly proportional, we know that multiplication is involved. So this causes our equation to work out to F is equal to K times E, where K is our constant of proportionality. That's the answer. Moving right along to part 2. Right, where we're asked to solve for x and y. So we know the equation F equals K times E. So now in order to solve for x and y, we have to first solve for K. So we can either use F equals 8 and E equals 0.2, or we can use F equals 60 and E equals 1.5 and solve for K. In this case, I'm going to take E equals 0.2 when F equals 8, and I'm going to plug that into my equation. So this means 8 is equal to 0.2 times K. I solve for K, which gives K equals 8 divided by 0.2. This means K is equal to 40. Now, to solve for X, we have to recognize that F is equal to 40 multiplied by X, which means the F value corresponding to X is 25. So I now plug in 25. This gives 25 equals 40 times x, which means that x is equal to 25 divided by 40, which is equal to 0.625. Now we can solve for y. Y is equal to 40 times 3.2. As we see in the table, y is the f value corresponding to the e value, 3.2. So this means y is equal to 128. And that's it for this video. We'll see you in part 3 of this video series. That is it for this video. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe for future post notification.